life milestone is coming fast. Soon, I will be starting a secondary school. Some of these secondary kids look big and a bit scary. I feel excited about starting year 7, but I'm a bit nervous too. It helps me to feel less worried when I remember that school is school, yeah? When I think about it, I figure secondary school will be the same in lots of ways to primary school. In primary school, I needed to be up and ready before 9 o'clock. I needed to wear my school uniform and take a bag with lunch and lunch money, school books and school diary. In secondary school, I will need to be up ready and early too, and I will still need to wear a uniform for secondary school. That's school for you. I need to pack similar things for secondary school, like my lunch and my books. I'm older now, so I can be more responsible and remember which days I need to pack my homework and sports uniform. Some kids might walk, take the bus, or ride a bike to school, if their parents aren't dropping them off. They might be able to catch the bus, or walk, or ride to school, with other kids going to secondary school. If catching the bus, you will need to get to the bus stop. If you're not feeling confident about finding the bus stop, you can practice the walk with a parent or friend, so you will feel ready to do it by yourself. If you feel anxious, you could call your parents. At primary school, we had a hook or pigeonholes to keep our bags. We kept our books inside the classroom and went to our bags to get snacks and lunch. In secondary school, I will keep my bag in a locker. Students will have their own lockers with a combination lock or lock and key to keep their belongings safe. At secondary school, you will keep your bag, your lunch, and all of your books in your locker. If I have any trouble getting into my locker, I don't have to worry because my homeroom teacher will be able to help me. At school, there are lots of other kids. In primary school, I had some close friends in my class, and I knew lots of other students in the playground. Some of my close friends will be coming to my new secondary school, but others are going to a different school. I will miss them, but I'm looking forward to making new friends at secondary school. In secondary, there might be lots more students at my high school. The kids in the higher classes will be older and mostly taller than me. There may be lots of more faces that I don't know, and it might be louder sometimes, and I might feel a little overwhelmed. When that happens, I can take some slow and deep breaths, or find quieter parts of the classroom or schoolyard. I can also remind myself that I'm probably not the only one who feels like this. Over time, I will get to know more of those faces, and I never know which of those new faces may one day become a good friend. All schools have classrooms for kids to learn and study in. At primary school, kids often have one main classroom for their grade. I liked my Year 6 classroom. Our teacher put our artwork on the windows and walls. I am looking forward to see all my new classrooms in secondary school, especially the science room, which I've heard has really cool equipment. My high school might be much bigger than my primary school was, and I won't stay in the one classroom. Different classes might be in different rooms or buildings. It might take a little while to know where all of my classes are. I can ask for a school map and mark my classes on it so I know where to go, and mark where the canteen is. I definitely want to know how to find the canteen. Lots of students can feel a little anxious about finding their way around. When this happens, I can ask for help. After all, everyone was a new student at my high school at some point, so they'll know how I feel. Schools and teachers go together. At primary school, I had one main teacher who took our class for most of the day except when we did subjects like PE and library. At secondary school, I will still have teachers. In fact, I will have more teachers than I had at primary school. I will have one main homeroom teacher, but different teachers will probably take my lessons for different subjects. That means I may have a funny teacher for one lesson, a quiet teacher for another lesson, and a loud teacher for another class. It might take me a little bit of time getting used to different teachers and the way they teach and the way they like their classes to behave. That's okay. More teachers will mean more people I can go to if I need help. And it can be really interesting getting to know different people. There's plenty of time to get to know my new teachers, and they're getting to know me too. I'm looking forward to meeting my new teachers. Lots of kids in primary school do homework at some point. This is the same in secondary school. I will still need to complete homework and remember to return it on the correct day. In secondary school, there might be more homework than previously. I can learn to manage that homework by breaking it down into manageable amounts and working on it steadily after school each day. If I'm finding being organized is difficult, I can ask my parent or caregiver or teacher for help with planning my homework. If I'm finding my homework is too difficult for me to complete without help, I can let my teacher know. They can save the tricky stuff for school time when they can help, and give me other work for at home. When you start secondary school, it's good to remember what you already know about going to school. Some things you did in primary school will be very similar to what happens in secondary school, and some things will be new and different.